Hello everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's MTPredictor video, I'd like to have a look at a setup that's unfolding currently on the Euro-US dollar, so a FOREX chart. But as usual, we have to start with our risk disclaimer and remind you that all examples in these videos should be considered as hypothetical. No trades are actually taken, they're just shown for illustration and training purposes only. Remind you there's a risk of loss in trading and investing. Put another way, all professional traders know and understand, but more importantly accept that losses can and will and do unfold. Doesn't matter what trading approach you have, there always will be losing trades. So the setup that I want to look at is the one we were covering in our MTPredictor training webinar a bit earlier in the week, which is this TS4 W3 trade setup. So I want to have a closer look at this. The W3 trade setup is one of our favorite trade setups because it has the highest profit potential in relation to the smallest initial risk, as we'll see in a minute. So how do we set this up? Well, as normal, we understand that markets are random about 50% of the time, so we're only looking to trade when we get a clear larger degree picture. So for this, we go to a time frame between 3 and 5 time frames higher. So this is an hourly chart. So if we go out to the 4-hourly chart, what we do is place our DPs on this higher time frame chart. So I want to just go back in time a bit to here, and I want to place a DP off this prior pivot here, because that's the last sort of major swing. So you right mouse click, do decision point. As you can see, it gives you an area of resistance, but that resistance is there in the future. In other words, it's a leading indicator. It's on the chart before the market even gets there. So now we see what happens as the market comes up to that area, and as you can see, the market did indeed find resistance in at that area before then reversing back down again. So what does that mean when we come down to the shorter time frame chart, i.e. the hourly chart? Well, let's have a look at the setup as it was at the time, and here we can see. So we have the market making a reversal at our resistance area. In other words, the picture is becoming clear because the market is doing what we anticipated. In other words, it's reversing at our level. Therefore, we deem the large degree trend is down. This is confirmed by our MTP trend, which has gone red, so therefore we'd be looking for sell setups and not buy setups. So obviously you would want to ignore this particular setup. By the way, you would have actually had another trade setup here. Can you see that? A DP sell at that resistance area. So this would have actually been a losing trade. You can see you'd have been taken in short and then you would have been stopped out. So here you'd have been stopped out for a minus 1 hour loss. Just like I said at the start, losses can and will and do unfold. The trick is keeping those losses small, and that's where position sizing comes in. So that would have been a minus 1 hour loss. Now we come back to this trade setup. So let's now right mouse click over the red cell bar, do analysis, and if I crunch the chart up, you can see that this was our potential target. And this is why we like these W3 trade setups, because we're looking to trade the wave 3. Which in Elliott wave terms is usually the strongest and longest in a completed 5-wave sequence. So the sequence would start at our higher time frame reversal, which was here. This would be wave 1 down here. Then we have a minor ABC correction into a wave 2 high, and then we're looking to try and trade the wave 3 swing. And so this is what we're looking at here. Again, position sizing takes account of our number of lots, contracts or shares to trade to keep our initial risk again small and under control. If I turn training mode off, you can see what the market is doing at the moment. As you can see, it's declining down nicely and currently sitting on about a 6-hour profit. So we don't know whether it will reach this target down here. If it does, the profit will be a very nice 10-hour profit. If it doesn't, we'll probably have our stop in here a bit closer to the markets. So we want to let this have a little bit of a wiggle room. We don't want to move it too close yet. But I just wanted to do this video just to show a trade setup that's in the process of unfolding. It hasn't got to the target yet, particularly because it was a wave 3 or W3 trade setup, and that's one of our favorite trade setups at MTPredictor. So remember, the whole lot was set up by starting on the higher time frame chart, placing our DP support and resistance areas out there in advance. In other words, a resistance area out here that caught this high. That then deemed that the large degree picture became clear because the market started to reverse off that resistance area. We then started to look for setups that fell in the direction of that large degree trend, in this case down, which was confirmed by red MTP. And there was our W3 or our TS4 W3 trade setup unfold there. So a good trade that's in the process of unfolding, so we'll have to see how this unfolds and see whether it does indeed reach this potential profit target in the days and weeks ahead.